I'm Dan Galpin for Now on Android, your guide to what's new and notable in the world of Android development. Today's episode is action-packed, featuring Android XR, the Android Studio Otter 2 feature drop with Gemini 3, the release of Android 16 QPR2, Compose updates including the stable release of Jetpack Navigation 3, and highlights of the Performance Spotlight Week. There has been a ton of news around Android XR, which brings a new dimension to Android development. We launched the first device powered by Android XR, Galaxy XR, wrapped up the Android XR Spotlight Week, and had a special Android XR-focused episode of The Android Show. We launched the Jetpack XR SDK, which uses Jetpack Compose to build spatial UIs. We adapted the open-source Androidify app to demonstrate how standard mobile layouts can live in the home space, while new full-space features can add immersive 3D interactions. We shared how Calm built a functional XR prototype in just 2 weeks by reusing their existing Android codebase and backend. Also, you can build fully immersive experiences with OpenXR on Android XR using Unity, Unreal Engine, and Godot. You can publish a single binary to the mobile track for an app with optional XR features, or use a dedicated XR track for apps that require spatial hardware. We covered our roadmap for next year with plans for the launch of wired XR glasses with Xreal's Project Aura, along with lightweight AI glasses and display AI glasses, stylish all-day wearables being developed with Samsung, Gentle Monster, and Warby Parker. You can now build augmented experiences for AI glasses using new libraries like Jetpack Compose Glimmer, a UI toolkit for transparent displays, and Jetpack Projected, which lets you extend your Android mobile app directly to glasses. Moving to your daily workflow, Android Studio Otter 2 is now stable. This release brings a highly requested feature, backup and sync. You can finally sync your IDE settings and key maps across all your machines. The Gemini 3 Pro model is now available in Android Studio, offering improved reasoning for complex coding tasks, and the new agent mode now includes an Android knowledge base, meaning it actively consults official documentation to give you answers grounded in the latest reality with the latest dependencies. The December 25 release of Jetpack Compose is stable, bringing major performance improvements to scrolling and text, along with new creative tools like the shared transition layout for seamless animations. Navigation 3 is now stable, moving navigation from the graph-based model to a flexible, key-based approach, with a Scenes API for adaptive layouts. We had a Nav 3 Spotlight Week beginning with an API overview, followed by animations, new recipes for deep links, and how to use Nav 3 with modularization. We also just wrapped up Performance Spotlight Week. One standout story comes from Reddit, who cut their cold startup time by 40% and reduced ANRs by 30% just by fully enabling the R8 optimizer. If you haven't looked at your R8 configuration lately, now is the time. Android 16 QPR2 is here, marking our first minor SDK release, with new APIs you can check for using the new SDK int full. Highlights include the Linux development environment on Android now supports running Linux GUI applications directly. The chooser, the system share sheet, is now interactive, supporting real-time content updates so users can do more without leaving the sharing flow. Health Connect has added support for step tracking, as well as new data types like rate of perceived exertion and skin temperature. To help your NDK apps prepare for 16 KB page sizes, your debuggable 4K-aligned apps will now show a warning on QPR2. And that's it for this episode of Now on Android, covering Android XR, Jetpack Nav 3 and the Jetpack December release, the Android 16 QPR2 release, Android Studio Otter 2, and the Performance Spotlight Week. That's a wrap for 2025. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and stay safe. We'll see you next year for more ongoing coverage of the Android developer ecosystem.